Okay, most of you guys have learned, well, several of you people have learned the first cue, bow kata kalsuna kakinakong. A lot of you are working on ground belt, level gets to work on a form called tokumini no kon. And we're going to do some bunkai, tokumini no kon. But first I want to teach you the very rudimentary, basic techniques you need to understand about the weapon. First of all is how to hold it. If you're holding the weapon in this position, this is a non-threatening position. You can walk with the weapon like this. If you're holding the weapon like this, I want to run. I will defend myself. If your weapon comes to here, I will defend myself. When you're in a guarding position, you're ready to do damage. Now, one of the things that's very, very important, right there, is where you have the tip of your bow. I guess we ought to do this for a minute. I want the tip of my bow right at eye level. Why?
So he doesn't know how far the sapper got from him.
So he can't see how long my bow is. Because I can cheat up on my bow, and you notice the back of the bow gets longer. That's why I hit and strike, and my circle of combat has been extended. That's the other thing. You want to know how to place the bow so he can't see how long it is. That's very critical. When we go to a guarding position, when we say guarding position, it means this. The other thing you need to understand about the weapon, since a bear used to really hammer me on this, because I like to get out here and wiggle this thing around. The bow wraps around your body. The weapon protects your body. You don't protect the weapon. There's a lot of systems, when they do technique, they put the bow here to protect their arm. Ishiru does not. Ishiru puts the weapon under your arm. For some strange reason, we protect the weapon. Don't change the kata, but understand that I changed this so when he strikes, hit the weapon. Wow, I can stop it here. I don't stop it with this. This don't break, this does. Okay, we've talked about wrapping the weapon around the body and keeping it close, because this is a fulcrum. You can generate more power. The power is generated with your hips in this way. Your arms just pull and push it. There are some basic things you need to do when you're fighting. We do parry blocks when we do, okay? When you're fighting, he throws a punch, I'll parry. Those back punch, I'll parry. Those punch, I'll parry. I just move it away. In weapons, kumite, you do the same thing. The parries are a little different. I'll parry his bow this way. Say he's got his bow here, I'll parry it this way. Say he thrusts at me, I'll parry it here so I can strike it again. Okay? I can parry it down. Boom. Put your weapon right into the guard position. You parry it down and come over. Parry it up, come underneath. Boom. The parries are just like you would art. Just like you do with your hands, you do with the tip of your hand. There are some techniques that are kind of interesting. One of them is you can actually remove somebody's hand from the weapon. And this is down, you immediately, if you do it if you get here and you do it with this weapon, you immediately strike with the back of the weapon. Remember, this is a two-sided weapon. If I do something here, I have to be cognizant of what's going on here. Because if I'm just using it as a single weapon, it's not very effective. So I rip and I strike. I break down and I strike. I thrust and I strike, strike, strike. There are 8 directional strikes, just like with the sword, just like with the side, just like with anything else. And they're across and down and up and down and side and thrust straight ahead. Understand this. This is just the basic stuff. Non-threatening, threatening. This is prepared for kumite. Prepared to fight. The bow has got all kinds of origins. Everybody's got their different idea where it came from. Some people said it was to carry weight or carry baggage or whatever on either end and walk around with it to lighten the load. The truth of the matter is, I can say, oh, it's just a walking stick, and if you've ever seen Master Splinter, that's what he used it for. The truth of the matter is, it's a stick. Could have been used for a million things. And if the Satsuma came along and said, is that a weapon? You go, oh, no. No, this is my stick for walking. Or this is my stick for carrying. Or this is my stick to beat my children with. I'm joking. Parents, I see that worried look on the parents' face. I see the worried look on my students' face now. Anyway, that's basically the very fundamentals. I mean, we're talking bare minimum what you need to know with this weapon. You guys will be learning the Sunakaki dirt pitch thing. And if you've ever watched the John Wayne Western, there's always some guy pitching dirt in somebody's face. It doesn't work very well. I'll show you how to practice grabbing a rag. You take a rag off the corner, pitch it in the air so you understand the technique. It can be a distraction. I can do this, get a little bit of dirt. He backs up. Boom, I extend my reach. See how I can extend my reach? Traditionally, you hold the weapon in thirds. Third, third, third. Front of the bow, rear of the bow. Strike, either side, up, down, either strike, over. These are the basic fundamentals. Learn when you're doing Bobo Kumite. Recognize this. If my hands are here, guess what? I'm going to hit you with the long end. The other thing is we do pokes. Since they used to yell at me about this too, because I used to rack it like a shotgun. The lead hand stays forward. It goes forward and it pronates. In other words, it turns over. The reason it turns over is I've got the weapon here. If I move this hand, he sees me move my lead hand. That's why you're doing most of it with the back hand. Everything's sliding through the lead hand. The other reason that you pronate it is if I thrust, and he hits under the bow to block it, he comes back and hits me in the face. That's why it has to be pronated. Because if I pronate it and he hits down on it, down. I might hurt the frog or something if it's on the ground, but it's not going to hurt me. Okay? There's pokes, which means you use the backhand like a pool cue, and you slide the bow forward. And it's really good if you have someone retreating, and they're faster than you are, you retreat with a poke. If they're being belligerent, you want to do a thrust. And that's when you drive it in, and you twist and drive, and it's to the solar plexus and the ribs. It can also be the soft tissue of the throat. It can be right between the eyes and knock them silly. Okay, we've done parry. These are just basics. There's a horizontal push block. He tries to swing at my feet. Horizontal push block stops that. He swings to my middle. Horizontal push block stops that. He swings to my head. Horizontal push block stops that. You've got to understand too that with a horizontal push block, I can also move this. He goes to my head. I can go here. There's more to it than just, you see this move in a cat stance? You have to understand that this move really can do this. In many schools, when they pull back in this cat stance, you'll see them do this wiggle. That little wiggle is indicative of that technique and how to use it. One other technique is one other thing you can do with the bow. You stop it here, you slip back, push it down, and you drive it across the throat. You drive this into somebody's eyes, boom, breaks their nose. You break their nose, they can't see. Number one target area when you're fighting with somebody with a bow, you want to break that wrist. You see these up, down things, they're not to the head. They're to break the wrist, break the elbow. This might be a strike to the head. Depends on how nasty you want to get with it. This is just the basic strikes and moves and things that you will learn as you progress through the katas. That's about it for tonight. Hope I didn't miss too much. I'm sure I missed some of it. These guys are going to do some Bobo Kumite, or basically we call it Bonkai. What the meanings of the moves in the kata represent and their drills. Because you can do kata all day long. You can do this as long as you want to, but until you face somebody with another weapon, and you learn to parry, stop it, counter it, hook it underneath, strike it down, break the collarbone, whatever. Until you practice that, it will feel very unnatural. Am I not telling you the truth, camera guy? We were working on a Bobo Kumite today, and he goes, this feels awkward. And then I explained a little bit more detail of what we were doing, and he goes, oh, that, he understood that portion. Anyway, that's all I have for the basics on the bow kata. You guys get to go back to class.